Alright, so today guys we're going to learn how to make this springtime fox, or you're going to have the choice to do a bear or a bunny. So I'm going to show you how to do each of those on a drawing up here, and then you can decide which one you want to use for your springtime drawing here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 pieces of white cardstock. If you don't have white cardstock, you can use just copy paper. That will work too. You're going to need a black marker of some type to do your drawing. You're also going to need different color washable markers in bright colors. So you want to pick Eastery spring colors. Make sure they're washable and not permanent markers. You're also going to need some springtime, bright, springy crayon colors. And then you're going to need a pair of scissors, a glue stick or some type of glue, and some water and a paintbrush. So those are the supplies that you're going to need. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how to do our background here, because we want to do that first and then set that aside and let that dry. So what you're going to need to do is grab your first paper. I'm just going to tape this up here. So grab your first paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a lot of flowers in our background. Now when we're working on this paper, we don't really need to focus in this section right here, because this is where we're going to be gluing our animal. So really all you need to do is focus around your edges. And all you need to do is, using a mixture of your crayon and your marker, is you're going to just start creating flowers of any shape that you want. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to do a flower. I'm going to use bright spring colors, because you want colors that are going to contrast with your black and white animal. So any shaped flowers that you want to do. But when you're doing your flowers, it's going to be a good idea to do your outline and your marker, and then you can go back through with a crayon and color in your centers. This is going to be important later to have our later steps going to help us with the markers here. So we want to make sure that's our outside layer. There's tons. I'm not going to finish coloring this in right now. So there's tons of different shapes of flowers you can do. You can do ones like this, or you can just do thin petals by just drawing lines in a circle shape. And then add in the center. You can do small little flowers with thin petals. However you want your flowers to look. Go ahead and fill those in. Remember to use only the outside of your paper. So go ahead and pause your video and fill in your flower background, and then we'll come back. Alright, so I went ahead and I filled in my border here with my flowers. So the next step you want to do is you want to grab a green crayon and a green marker, and you're going to start adding some stems. So start with your crayon and just connect your flowers in all different ways. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Bring them down to the bottom of your paper. Connect them all together. No right way or wrong way to do this. However you want them to be. Bring down your stems. Just make sure they're all coming down to the bottom of your paper. Just want to fill in some space. All right, so there's with my crayon. Now I'm going to come back through next to the lines that I just did with the marker. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just adding more depth to your paper. All right, so now that I have went back through and I've added my stems to my flower background here, now as you can see, your value, my camera is not very bright, but in front of you, you should have bright colors, bold, that pop out. So the value of your paper right now is bright and bold. So we're going to take our water and our paintbrush. We're going to put some water on your paintbrush, and you're just going to go through where your marker is, because the good thing about washable marker is it also can be used for painting, watercolor painting. It kind of turns into a watercolor. So wherever you have marker, if you take your wet paintbrush and you kind of go over that, you can see that the marker is spreading. I'm just taking my marker, my paintbrush here with water on it. I'm going over my marker and I'm extending that color out. And your crayon is like a barrier. So the water kind of just rolls right off of that. So you want to do all your same colors first so your water doesn't blend. So I'm going to do my oranges first. I'm just going to kind of go through and bring my water that's on my brush out to fan out my flower. Give that background a little extra color. And if you don't want to do this step and you like yours just the way it is, you can go ahead and just keep it the way it is. But this just brings your white background and gives it a little bit of more of a pop in color. So I'm done with orange. I'm going to rinse my brush here. Now I'm going to go on to my next color. So I'm going to go over here and do some yellow. So you can go ahead and do that. Trace all of your marker that you did with your paintbrush to give it some color. Go ahead and pause your video. I'm going to pause the video and you can go ahead and fill in your water and then we'll come back. Okay, so I went through and I watered my marker outline here. So you can see that I kind of blended my colors together so there's not just a white space there anymore. I'm going to take this off. You can see a little bit better. Well, they're blended there now. So take this and you're going to set this aside and let this dry. Now we're going to start working on our animals. So I'm going to draw all three of the choices and then you can decide which one you want to actually use for yours. So the first one we're going to do is the fox. just going to kind of show you here, and you can figure out which one is easiest for you to draw and which one you like the best. So when we're doing this, we want to use black marker. So we're going to do a black and white that's going to contrast against your bright color background over here. Okay, so to do the fox here, you're going to want to come up to maybe right here on your paper. So say this is half, you want to come down a little bit more to start his shape of his face here. So we're going to come over here. We're going to kind of make a really, really wide, like a smile face. See if I can get a little bit closer here. Right, so we're going to have a smile face here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 1, 2, 3 on each side for his fur. They're going to kind of like a zigzag. 1, 2, 3. Try to keep them about the same height on each side. Then you're going to come right here and you're just going to add a little line going up on each side. And again, make sure they end at about the same spot. Next step you're going to do is we're going to do fur from this side coming in this direction now. So 2. We're going to do 1, 2, again, zigzag shapes. Then off of these zigzag shapes, we're just going to connect them. So you're just bringing them over for the top part of his head. The next step is we're going to give him his ears. So you're going to kind of start over here, a little bit away from where his fur ends. And you're going to go over there, same thing on this side. So there's his 2 ears. And then you're also going to come back in and follow that same line for the inner part of his ear. Just like that. Next, we're going to come down here. And we're going to give him his body. So you want to come in, about here, go all the way down. Same thing on the other side. So it should look like this. Now I want to give him his nose. So we're going to work right here in the center of where his head is. And we're going to kind of give him an upside down triangle that goes off of his face a little bit. Like that. So you want to make sure it comes off of his face and onto his body. And then go ahead and color all of that in. Okay, so once you have that colored in, this is what we're going to use as our guideline for the next part. So you're going to find the center of his nose and then go over a little bit on each side. And those are your 2 lines you're going to use. And you're going to use this as your other spot on each side. So you're going to come from this spot up to the top of his first patch of fur up here. So you're going to come here and you're going to curve to there. You're going to come up to that spot. Okay, now we're going to give him his eyes on each side. So his eyes are kind of oval shaped. So right here we're going to start. We're going to give him one there, and then we're going to kind of eyeball where the other side goes. So then you want to color those in, but you want to leave a little spot there for his little speck in his eye. I'm not going to color both of these, and I'm just going to kind of do this one real quick and show you the speck that you want to keep white. All right, so it should look like that. His eye should be colored in, and he should have, I don't know if you can see that very well. A little bit closer. Should have a speck left in his eye. All right, so he's pretty much going to be finished. The last step you want to do with these guys is you want to add texture. And to add texture, it makes him look like he has fur. So you can choose any type lines you want. For this guy down here, I chose lines going down, lines going diagonal. I did zigzags. And then for the bottom part of his fur, kind of did lots of little lines. So this is just adding texture. So you need to figure out what kinds of texture you want your guy to have. So before you add the texture though, you need to go back through each of his sections and kind of add lines. And these are your guidelines of what to fill in. So you fill basically his whole body up first with lines. So you do the same with that ear. And then for his face, add lines going this way. Fill it all in. And then this line's going this way, so you're going to go this way. And these are your base lines. And these are the lines that you're going to fill in with your shapes. So you can choose to do swirls, polka dots, however you want your guy to look, whatever you want filled in these little spaces here. Use whichever ones you want. So here's your base. So now you're going to go back through and start filling in each of these sections with whatever shapes, lines that you want to give your little fox some texture. Okay, so here's the fox. Now we're going to go on to the bear. Let's see here. Trying to make it so you guys can see better. All right, so for the bear, what you're going to do is you're going to come, same thing over here, find your center, come down a little bit. So we're going to start over on the edge. We're going to kind of make a U shape. It's wide. You want to make it wide, come down to the center, and then back out. So that's the bottom part of his face. So using this line now, you're going to come in on each side. So about there. And then you're just going to take your top line and you're going to connect it. It's kind of like this. Kind of looks like almost a diamond shape, but not really because it's more curved. So you're going to come over here now where you curved. You're going to add his ears on each side. So look like that. Now we're going to come back down here. We're going to kind of find the center of this line right here. And we're going to add a line going across like that. Okay, so off of this line now what we're going to do, we're going to kind of find the center of this one, come over a little bit, and we're going to go all the way up to the bottom of his ear, almost. Find the center, come over a little bit, we're going to go almost up to his ear on the other side. So it should kind of look like that now. Now we're going to come back down here, and we're going to give him his nose. So we're going to come up about this far. We're going to kind of make a heart. You can color that in. I'm not going to color it in. Just going to really quick let you know. It needs to be colored in. And then you want to give him this little smile. Either side. Now we're going to come up here and give him his eyes. Now he's going to have circle eyes, and we're going to do one here, kind of eyeball it. on the other side, and then you want to give him his inner circle like that. And then again, he needs his little black in there. A little flicker of light on his eyeball. And we'll color that one in. Like that. So again with him, add his sections. Just want to follow the guidelines of whichever way it's going. Go that same direction for your sections here. Okay, and again, you want to fill in each of these sections with whatever shapes, lines that you want to use. All right, so there's our bear. The last one is going to be a bunny. He's a little bit harder, but if you guys want to try him, you can. Okay, so for our bunny, the first thing we want to do is, again, find the center of your paper, come down a little bit, and we're going to add a circle right there in the middle. Now, on either side of the circle, what we're going to do is we're going to start here at the bottom. And you're going to kind of come up like that. And then from this line, we're going to go up and over to the other side. So it kind of looks like a pear shape right now. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add his ears up here on the top. I didn't really save enough space. I think I went a little bit too high up. So it looks more like a pig. But you can make yours look right. So give him some nice long ears. Maybe start a little bit lower for him. And then we'll come down here. And we'll add his body. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use this as our baseline again. We're going to start here. And we're going to come up to the bottom of his ear. On both sides. And then we're going to come into this circle here and we're going to give him a wide V-shaped nose. Like that. And then his mouth. On either side. And then up here in this section are going to be his eyes. So just like the fox, he's going to have oval eyes. And then you want to add his little light flicker in there. Color his eye in. I'll color that eye in too. And then with the bunny, he has some eyelashes. So we're going to come over here to the inner part of his eye. We're just going to go around his eye and add in some long eyelashes. Which will be about right there. Same thing on this side. Come add some eyelashes. Like that. His eyes. So again with this guy, You want to just corner that in. And then you want to give him his sections as well. So for his ears, I'm going to kind of go this way. Give him some lines. Section's going to go this way. Just kind of want to follow the shape of his head, whatever shape it is. Follow those lines. And for this one, I'm going to go this way. And for his body, I'm going to go this way. So once again, and then we'll go like this first. All right, so there's our bunny. So whichever one you choose to do, go ahead and draw them on your piece of paper and then go back through, do your sections, and then you want to make sure you start filling in your sections. So like for the bear, maybe I want to do swirls for this section. So I'll come back through just this section and I'll start adding swirls in here. Go every direction you want, whatever you want it to look like. You just want to make sure you do each section. So I'll go ahead and I'll fill this whole one in. Maybe for this one, I want to do zigzags. So I'll fill these sections in with zigzags. Okay, so whatever you want to do. This one, maybe I'm going to do lines. So each part that's broken off, you'll do a different design in that section. Make sure you fill it all in. So you'll fill in your whole animal there, and once you have that all filled in, oh, I forgot to give him his body. There's his body. So go ahead and fill in your sections with any design that you want. Once that's all done, your final step is you're going to cut your animal out. Keep it black and white, and then all you're going to do is you're going to bring back your flower design that you did, and you're just going to glue him on there. So here's your finished product. It looks something like this. So as you can see, you'll see the contrasting colors of the black and white with the bright flowers in the background, and then your texture on your animal for his fur. And here's your finished product. So if you guys complete this and you want to go ahead and post a picture of what yours looks like, go ahead and do that. I look forward to seeing all of your creations and ideas. I'm sorry about my video quality. It's not very good, but just wanted to come and give you guys a little art lesson here. Hopefully I'll have another one for you guys next week. If you have any suggestions of stuff you want to see, go ahead and let me know, and I'll try to get that for you. All right, see you later.